The arrest didn't calm Briar Hollow, it detonated it. Because people weren't just watching a case unfold, they were watching their town become a headline. And every porch light felt like it was pointing at the Carter house. Grant Carter was held without bail, but even in custody, he didn't stop doing what he'd always done, controlling the story. And detectives learned that the hard way when Grant requested an interview the very next day, not with a lawyer present, but with the calm confidence of a man who still believed he could narrate his way out of reality. In the interview room, he sat straight-backed, eyes steady, hands folded like he was recording an episode, and the detective slid a printout across the table. E version B, the outline with timestamps. The line about the sleepover being a cleaner story. The perfect hook written in black and white. Grant didn't deny it. He smiled faintly and said, "That's not a confession, that's writing." The detective leaned in and asked the only question that mattered. "Where is Elise?" Grant's smile didn't move, but his eyes did. They flicked once to the side, like a man checking the distance to shore, and he answered quietly, "You'll never prove what you can't see." That line lit a fire under the search teams, because now it wasn't just a missing person investigation, it was a recovery, and the lake was no longer scenery, it was evidence. Divers returned to the water in freezing temperatures, using sonar grids and weighted markers, inching through dark silt near the far bank where Grant's phone had pinged at 6:16 a.m., and for 2 days, they found nothing, just broken branches, lost fishing gear, and the kind of junk every lake collects until the third morning, when a diver's hand brushed something that didn't belong, something smooth and hard beneath a layer of mud. And when he pulled it free, the surrounding water clouded like smoke. It was a small, waterproof case, the kind podcasters use to protect equipment, sealed tight, weighted with stones, and inside were 2 items that made the case turn from suspicion to certainty. Elise's wedding ring, wrapped in tissue as if someone had handled it carefully, and another tiny digital recorder, just like the one they had found in her bag. When detectives played the audio in a quiet room, no one spoke. The recording started with Elise's breathing, shaky and close, then the sound of footsteps on tile, a chair scraping, and Grant's voice, not calm, not podcast friendly, but low and sharp, telling her to say the line again, telling her to make it believable. And then Elise's voice, trembling, whispering, "Please, the girls," before Grant snapped, "They're not here, that's the point." Then the recorder captured a muffled struggle and a sudden silence that felt like the whole world holding its breath. Grant was charged within hours. Kidnapping, obstruction, and murder. And Briar Hollow packed the courthouse like it was a storm shelter, because everyone wanted to see the face of the man who had taught them to fear monsters while living as one. The prosecution built the case like a timeline trap. The 6:12 a.m. 911 call, the 24 hours line, the insistence, the neighbor seeing Elise at 6:38, the podcast upload at 6:14, the missing office phone, the GPS pings at 6:16 near the trail, the coat folded in the trunk, the script ideas folder, and finally the lake, evidence ring, and recorder, tying Grant directly to Elise's last moments. Grant's defense tried to paint him as a storyteller who got carried away, claiming the recordings were staged, that Elise was alive, that she ran, that the town was hungry for a villain. But then the prosecutor played the 14-second voice memo found on the recorder from her gym bag, and followed it with the recorder audio from the lake, and the courtroom turned into a freezer, not a sound, not even a cough, as Elise's fear echoed through speakers. When Grant took the stand, he performed like he always had, voice steady, eyes watering at the right moments, describing himself as a husband who tried to do the right thing, But the prosecutor asked him one final question that destroyed his performance. "Mr. Carter, if your wife was missing, why did you schedule your podcast episode titled The Day She Disappeared to upload 2 minutes after your 911 call?" Grant hesitated, and that hesitation became his real confession. Because for the first time he wasn't narrating, he was trapped, and he finally said the quiet part out loud. The thing that had been hiding behind every timestamp. "Because I knew the story would go viral." Gasps rippled through the courtroom like wind through dead trees, and the judge's face tightened as if hearing something poisonous. The verdict came fast, guilty on all counts, and when Grant was sentenced, the judge said, "You didn't just take a life, you tried to turn it into content." Grant didn't cry. He only stared ahead like he was still listening to his own voice. But the strangest part came after, when Briar Hollow tried to heal, and Elise's sister brought the girls home, and the town began to dim its Christmas lights, because a week later, the court ordered Grant's podcast archive permanently deleted, and people thought that would be the end until, at exactly 6:12 a.m. one cold morning, phones across Briar Hollow buzzed with a notification no one could explain. North Line Files, new upload. The thumbnail was black. The title was one word: smile. And when investigators pulled the file from the server, there was no music, no intro, no narration, just 3 seconds of audio. Elise breathing, and Grant whispering right into the mic, like he was standing in the room with you. Ready for season 2?